Alright guys, today is the big day for the patrol. It's the time that we say goodbye when we throw a piston through the side of the block. Nah, just kidding. So, it's tuning time. We're going to be getting the ring spanners out, doing some twisty work on it, sending in that fuel screw, making a bit of soot, hopefully not too much because fuel economy is good. And we're going to be throwing a 3-inch exhaust on it. So we've got that in the works, it's coming, it's going to be here, we're going to see how it sounds, and at the ultimate end goal, we're going to be able to see the direct comparison from an NA Patrol to a lightly boosted TD42. So I'm really keen to see how the results stack up, and hopefully it reveals that it was all worth it. I mean, just in that sound, it's worth it. But yeah, so let's just dive straight into it because enough stuffing around. Let's just see this thing get some boosted action. Let's go. All right, so it's time to tune the Patrol. Maybe blow it up, but no, because we're not going to do that. So I've got my tuning kit here, as you can see, 2 ring spanners. I think it's a 13mm and a 6mm, so that'll do it. I had to pull a little cap off of the fuel screw, and we're not going to be going overboard. We're going to go little increments at a time because we don't want to do anything stupid. So we're going to start with 1/8 of a turn, and then I suppose we'll go from there. We'll go for a run, watch the EGTs and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty much the way it works is you have a lock nut, like say that's a lock nut, and then you have a screw that runs into that. So pretty much you want to undo your lock nut, and then you wind in your fuel screw however far. So in our case we're going to do 1/8 of a turn, so just turning it like that sort of thing, and then you wind your lock nut back up, and that holds it all in place pretty much. And then your fuel screw turns in. That little bit of extra thread that it goes in is what gives you more fuel, however it works inside there. So yeah, so pretty much we're just gonna start with the 1/8 of a turn. Yeah, and then we'll just see what happens. Hopefully make some power. Because at the moment we've got 9 pound of boost, but it's just 9 pound of extra air. We haven't added any fuel, so it's running lean. It's not really running any better than it was NA, which is expected because you don't make power unless there's fuel to go with it. So, and it wasn't running rich beforehand either. So yeah, I suppose all we're gonna do is get in there with our little, it's really hard to get to the screw actually on this. There's like a hose, like a return hose that runs literally right in the way. So anyway, I've turned it, I was going to turn it from there to there, which is just 1/8 of a turn, but it's more like there. So it's not quite a quarter, it's not quite 1/8, so whatever's in between that, maybe like a 1/6, I don't know. But yeah, so it's sort of in between. But we'll pretty much just run it, and the first thing that'll tell us how much fuel's going through is the idle will be should be up a little bit, but it shouldn't be crazy ass, because if it is, then you know you got heaps of fuel. So yeah, we'll turn it on and see what happens. Nothing crazy. Well, that's not a bad thing. Oh, we'll go. Not really any soot, which is good. Alright, so this is the maiden test with, yeah, between 1/8 and a 1/6 of a turn. I don't know, yeah. So you need to wait till you get on. I'll be able to tell pretty quick. I think it is a little, it does go a little bit better again, then yeah, I'm pretty sure I can feel a difference. Doesn't feel...
I don't really feel a difference.
Not really, yeah.
It's not gonna be a race car, it's not gonna instantly.
No, it's never gonna, I'm looking, and it's not like, you're just looking for a little bit more pull. Like you'll know about like, when we're in going up that hill in 4th, we'll know. We're gonna do the same test as last time, just 3 grand each gear and see what happens. But I'm already over 70k, so I'm going up to 80k. Yeah. EGT's at 390. So 80k an hour. So I never got that before. Yeah. 100. 420, 430, 430. Nearly 440. Yeah. So okay, so I got higher. Yeah. But it went a lot. Like I got to 70k an hour. Oh, that's right, 80k an hour, which I could never even dream about doing before, and it did it fairly easily. Yeah. But EGTs did get pretty high. So the thing with these HT18s, they're not they're designed to be a lazy turbo so that you don't break stuff essentially. Well, I feel like that's why. Longevity of the engine. So pretty much, they're not going to build boost like at 1200 revs sort of thing. Like they're not going to like come on full boost at like some really efficiently designed turbos are. They're more lazy as in they'll pick up around like 2 grand sort of thing. And it pretty much means that, yeah, you're not like just putting all this torque on the engine like when it's very standstill. So obviously, in that regard, the car's not going to be like a torque monster down low anyway. You're going to feel it probably more so in like that, yeah, 2 grand and up. It's not going to be like 1500 revs, just like instant vibe, like it takes a little bit sort of thing. In saying that, this is definitely making a lot more power than it was before, and you can feel it. It's very hard with these things because you don't drive the car for like a week while you're doing it, and I've been driving my dad's car in between, which is a petrol, a TD42, so you get used to that, and it's like, it makes you forget what it, like if I could jump out of an NA and go straight into this, I'm sure I'd feel the difference so much more. It definitely still goes a lot better though. Oh yeah, it's definitely got, like normally like the car's like starting to bog down here, but it's going straight up. EGT is like 360, which is pretty good. Yeah, normally I'd no way do that at this speed. Oh yeah, that's a huge improvement. That's massive, that. That's what you really notice it. Yeah, definitely. That's a massive improvement. I'd normally have to cane when it was NA, like absolutely cane it to get up there in third, but this did it at like 2 grand pretty easy, I would say, just then. That was pretty easy. Alright, so I just adjusted the idle as well because obviously more fuel means an idle harder, so I just wound it back, so it's idling about 600 RPM now. And then when we've got the exhaust, we'll show you if that changed anything, how it sounds, all that sort of stuff, because we all want to see what it's going to sound like. So, alright guys, so we finally got the exhaust done, and I'm pretty stoked. I'll just show you. Let's just show you. So, obviously, I know I'm going to disappoint a few people when I say this, but I didn't get a side pipe. I know they're cool and everything, but I thought to myself, I was like, when I'm sitting on 110 on the freeway, I was like, do I want that noise like right behind the cab? So I've gone for a full tailpipe. Anyway, so took it to a local exhaust shop and got them to make something up. So it's a 3-inch mild steel exhaust. And as you can see, this surprised a few people when I showed them to it. This is where it comes out. So pretty much when I went in there, I just said to the bloke, look, it comes straight out of the dump, easy as, drops a 90, goes in between a cross member, comes straight up behind the cab. And then I said to him, I was like, oh, can you run it just literally up close to the bottom and to the side of the tray? Because I wanted to keep all this underneath space in case I want to put in like a water tank, who knows, like a drawer or something like that. So it's very basic. It's literally like, I reckon that there's 3 bends, 3 90-degree bends, and it literally runs straight everywhere else. So very basic, but sounds awesome, and yeah, works. It's a 3-inch exhaust. But enough about looking at it. I know you all want to hear what it sounds like, so I'll give it a start and a bit of berries, and you can see what you think. Alright, so we're going to do the same run that we did just before the turbo up past the pub. So pretty much 3 grand every gear, and we're just going to see how fast we can go. So drop down to second and we'll go from there. So let's give it the berries, see what it does. Already at 70k, which is way better than before. There's fourth. EGT sitting about 410, 80k, so already a lot better. Yeah, 70k up this hill is where we're stuck at. Doesn't climb, sitting at, what's that, 1800 revs. Now it's dropping off 65. Doesn't accelerate a whole heap, but Alright, so as you can see there, knocked a little bit of time off. The main difference, as you probably heard, is that with the turbo now added, we could keep revving the car out and it didn't die off like the old NA did. So you just saw there, just briefly, I got the warning to flash. It just ticked over 475, so it just starts flashing at you and beeping. Just a good little warning to have. Definitely massive improvement over the old NA. Alright, so if you've known the channel for a little while, you might remember a time when me and James did a comparison on turbo versus NA, and we came to a certain hill that really put the car through its paces, and so we've come back today to do another comparison. So we're going to use the time from the old time that I went up here when the car was naturally aspirated, and we're going to compare it to now turbo. So we're going to do the same run, just boot the guts out of it and see how fast we can do the, see how fast we can do the hill. So let's just see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't spit the dummy halfway up, but should be right, so let's get into it. Alright, ready? Here we go now. Temperature's only got to 490, which is actually pretty good. That was actually not too bad. The temperature's only got up to 490, which is not bad. Alright, so as you can see there, 2 seconds is actually not a whole lot. But when we look at, like, say, if you remember James's car, he did this hill in about 30 seconds. So I suppose it makes sense for a car that's running half as much boost on a turbo that costs quarter as much and is not efficient and has, like, way less fuel. I suppose it makes sense that it's not crazy fast like a race car. And also too, if it's worth mentioning, the canopy is now on the car, which I don't know, it doesn't weigh that much, but it could contribute to making the car a bit slower compared to when I was just running the tray. So just a bit of food for thought there, and yeah, back to the video. Alright, so while we're here and while we can, we thought we'd do you also might remember from the last time we did the test, the comparison with the turbo, non-turbo. We did like 0 to 60 and then stop again to see how long it sort of is. So we're in the same spot, gonna do the same test and, I don't know, compare the pair, see what's different. So obviously it should be shorter. Well, actually, my brakes feel like they've gotten worse, so maybe not, but we'll see. Anyway, let's just get into it. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we probably shaved off maybe 15 meters or so. Nothing crazy actually, but like still improvement. Actually, it's not much shorter. No. It wasn't really probably like 15 meters maybe. Yeah, it wasn't really huge. Like I swear Jane stopped like here. Yeah. His car is quicker though. His car. Did you ever see? Did he have the G turbo? Yeah, at that point. So he had the G turbo. I'm running half the boost he is and half the fuel. Alright, so let's pretty much wrap this up. So turbo done. Is it a good mod? Of course. How could you say it's not? Yeah, pretty much driving the car day to day is just like a huge improvement. Like driving around town, like on the freeway, like sitting at 110, I didn't actually notice a huge improvement. It's really more driving around town, like when you know, sitting at like 60, 80 Ks and you got to do hills, this, that, the other. That's when you notice it best. Fuel economy hasn't really changed, which isn't a bad thing, can't complain. I wasn't expecting it to really get any better. I was just hoping it wouldn't get worse, and it hasn't, so it's the same. I suppose a few of you are probably wondering why didn't I intercool it. First, because the crossover pipe came with the kit, I was like, it's all there, just use that. Intercooler would have cost more money, and like if I'm just running factory, you know, boost pressures and not really touching the fuel, I was like, it shouldn't really get hot, and it doesn't. Unless I'm absolutely caning it, it doesn't get hot at all. I mean, summer might be a different story. That's gonna be something we'll have to, when it starts getting hot again, we'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, down the track, I might get tired of how it is one day and disconnect the wastegate or something stupid like that and wind the fuel up, and then I'll blow it up or something. I don't know. But if I were to want more boost and fuel, then I would definitely be looking at intercooler. But until then, this is probably how it's going to sit. It's just way better than it was, so can't really ask for much more. And it's not like it's a high performance setup anyway. It's literally a stock turbo. So if I had some UFI thing on there, then of course I'd be pushing for more power, but there's a reason I didn't buy that in the first place. So yeah, pretty much that's a wrap. Let us know what you thought of the whole process. Let me know what I could have done different, what I stuffed up, or because I probably did something. I don't know, I'm not perfect. Let me know, yeah, ideas, mods, thoughts, you name it, you go night. Yeah.
It's been a long...
You guys know what to do, so, you know, leave a comment, give us a like, make sure you get subscribed because it helps us out a hell of a lot, and yeah, hopefully she keeps ticking away as she is. See you later.